Use your rack to help you feed the table the right amounts of money. Use your rack and your stack to lock the profits up, and you're gonna be just fine, okay? Again, what I want you to do is not so much, give you the secret to gambling here, right? It's a secret to not losing more than you should. It's a secret to not giving it up like everybody else does. Don't be like everybody else. Let this be your differentiator. That's it. Let's talk about your rack, your stack, and your rail, and how we manage our money live at the table. I think this is to me, one of the coolest things that we have access to at the casino that I think a lot of people just don't take advantage of, right? Your stack and your rack, whether you're at a craps table or roulette or bach table, it's your number one source of information. You can use that to glean so much information about where you are, what state of the game you're in, and help you make better choices, right? You can use your stack and your rack to separate things like your series chips from your bankroll, your profit from your series. You can use it to track wins and losses, track your results, help you make betting decisions. The thing of it is, it's giving you information, and what we have to do is learn how to listen to what it's telling us and also feed it a little bit so that we can use it for the information tool that it actually is. So one of the things I want to show you here is a way that you can play with your stacks and play with your rack to give you the information. We're going to set up a couple of examples here on craps, and I'll do it again in baccarat blackjack to give you an idea of how you can get a look at, manage your session bankroll, your series bankroll, where you are in profit, and how we can track profits and losses, how we keep our tips, our side bets, and our bet prep ready to go while we're in the middle of the series. So let me go ahead and switch out and put our table up here and walk you through some of these basics. Here is our rack, as though we're at a craps table. Now, I'm going to show you how to work this with one rack. Eventually, I'll bring in a second rack to sort of show you how I can work a second one too to get more information out. But let's get started with some of the basics. Okay, let's first have a buy-in. Here I've got $500. I got 5 stacks of green chips. I'm going to put them into my rack. Now, normally, folks will just take their money and drop it into their rack. I'll put it over here and hope for the best, right? Normally, my bankroll, by the way, goes either on my right side or my left side, depending on where I'm at the table. Right in front of me, closest to me, my hand is typically on this while I'm shooting the dice or whatever else. But if you just have this, my question to you is, how much money is in your rack? That's question one. Question two is, how many series can you play with that money? Do you know? How many times can I go out right now at 96 across or at $100 outside? How many times can I do it? You don't know. You can guess. Looks like it's about $500. I just bought in. It must be $500. But in the course of the game, how much is in there? You don't know. I'm going to show you how to know. I'm going to bring these out. These are my lammers. Okay, I had these things custom made. If you want some, drop me an email. But here's the thing. You can use quarters. They work just as great. You can go to Amazon and buy clear spacers. They work just as great. They're like $5 when you buy them that way. Here's what I do. Number one, I'm deciding ahead of time. I'm going to do $100 series. I'm going to make 5 series of bets that are $100. Okay, I'm going to split my rack into 4 unit chunks, 4 green chips and a lammer in between, 4 green chips and a lammer in between, 4 green chips and a lammer in between. And there we go. If you take a look down at my rack from above, you can already see the separation. You can just look down and see there's a gap in between those things. I know right now I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It happens to be $500, but more importantly, it's 5 series. I've got my rack set up into 5 distinct series of play. First rule of my rack management, information gathering, is I keep my master bankroll, my session bankroll, in one spot of my rack. Okay. I also keep it separated by how many series I want to play by how big the series are. Now, again, this one here happens to match. When I'm playing, I also do this. Normally I'll ask for a stack of red or a half stack of red and a half stack of white. I'll keep them over here. I'm just going to get some random number of chips and they're going to be on this side of my rack. The opposite side of my bankroll is this. This is what I call my junk money. This could be used for things like if I've got to power press a bet by $1, like drop $1 for a vig or drop $1 to make a $14 nine look like a quarter. That's where this money's for. This is also for when I got the dice and I say dealers on the inside, or if I want to bet the dealers ATS, that money comes from over here. This is my separate money. It's not part of my play stack. It's just extra dough to do extra things with, okay? Then what I do is this. I manage my rack this way. I say when I'm about to play a series, shooter's coming out, here comes the puck, they're getting ready to go. I pull my play money up. That's my series bets. I'm gonna risk one series worth of money from my bankroll. The minute I do that, mentally, I'm down $100. I look at my rack and I say, look, we're gonna go $100 outside, please, up and off. I look at my rack and say, well, I'm down $100. I realize that it's out here, but it ain't here. And if it ain't here, it's not mine anymore. I've given it away. Even though the puck's off, I look at it like that. My rack tells me that. My rack tells me where I'm at. Okay, now let's assume. Let's let this shooter get a point. Let's say they're on the point of 8. Fantastic. Let's say they hit a 9 for $35. Okay, I'll pay myself out here, $35 for that 9. What we do is this. Now, again, how you play this doesn't really matter. Okay, let's just say that we press it by $10 and take a quarter back. Notice that I put the quarter back into the stack where it came from. This was my series started here. Job number 1, series has to do its job, which is either simply show a profit, which it has, or completely recover itself, which it's about to. Now, if my win goal today was $125, which out of $500 is a pretty good little win goal, okay? My stack, my series did its job. It won a quarter and I can be done. I can turn all my bets off and I can go away. This rack tells me that. I got a quarter out of the series and the series is still hot. I can make the decision to be done, okay? Let's play it out. Let's pretend that the 5 hits another time, okay? For $1, that pays $50. We'll take the dollar back to the casino. I'll take $50 back to my rack and look what I got here. Now my session still down $100. My series is down $25. It's got a $75 profit, which is great. Easily could be done. Pull this down. But if I'm playing it like, hey, let's try and replenish things, I can look at that and go, look, it's almost there. Let's say the 5 hits for $35. $35 5, press the 5, bring back the quarter, and now I can look at this and say my series has paid for itself. It goes back into the bankroll. My series play has done its job. Now I can say safely, everything that comes off of this table can go over here. This is my profit area. Once I've got this, everything else comes off as profit. Once I'm here, by the way, I also know, again, rack giving me information that everything out here is profit. 100% of what's out here is profit. Once I see this, once I see my 5 spots back, I know it's profit. Now, I have choices to make. Let's say we hit another 9, right? And it pays 50 for 1, $50 for 1, okay? What do? I can put $25 back into the series and lock $25 in profit, which is often what I'll do. I'll say, look, let's just play half and save half. Let's say the 10 hits for $50. Same thing. Play half and save half. Let's say the 7 comes. Whoops, that sucks. The 7 came, lost it all, and away it goes. Where am I at right now? Well, that series' job was to win $50. Let's just assume that was our goal. It did that job. It also left me with $50 extra that I could go out and play with, still work in the same series. The series paid for itself, won money, and has money to play with. Or I can say the series is completely done. I'm locking up that profit and going home. Either way, managing the rack from this perspective, everything from the series section is what goes to the table. Nothing else comes to this table except for from what I've allowed my bankroll to fund for the next series, other than from over here. Okay, that's rule number 1. Everything from my table comes back into the series section. If it wins, it comes back here. Once it's here, I can evaluate. Does it need to go back and replenish bankroll? Can it be saved as profit? Should it stay here and work itself through for the next time? That's, again, rack information for you. Now let's assume we're playing another game. Let's assume that we're playing, I don't know, baccarat or blackjack or something else. How does that system work in other games? Well, you can do the exact same thing in other games. I'm going to change the felt out here in a minute and show you what that looks like. But let's do a little bit of stack management now at a blackjack table. Now again, this system could work. What I'm going to show you here could work for blackjack or baccarat, pie gal, whatever table game you want to play. It's the same principle as I showed on the craps table. Here we go. We're buying in for 500 bucks. Here's greens, 400 in green, and I've got $100 in red. Now I'm going to work out of this spot here on the table, and again, for demonstration purposes, I got to be close to it. So I'm going to put the money here next to it. Normally this goes behind, way back here, where it's kind of hard for you to see on camera, but that's where my bankroll would be, my session bankroll. And the craps table, I had that in the rack with lammers in between. At a table like blackjack or baccarat, I'll put them side by side. That's my session bankroll. Okay, these are my series piles. One of my series is going to be 100 bucks. It'll be 2 stacks of reds in my case, okay? I'm going to put them over here so you can see them while I play this out. But here's how I'm going to manage it. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. I know how much money I got. I know that I'm already, when the series is kind of in action, it's not here, I'm down 100 bucks. Again, that's my visual, that's my mental story that I'm telling myself. If you just do this, and have it all stacked up next to your whiskey, how much money do you have? Do you know? Feels like 400 bucks. Might be 375 though. Not really quite sure. When you've got it actually segmented out like this, there it is. Also, side benefit, somebody walks up and tries to steal your money, it's not all in one stack that they can go rip off and be what they call a railbird. Okay? If it's here, it's here. And there it is. There's your four stacks, your 4 series that are waiting to be played from your master bankroll. In my world, at a table, a series is used for a shoe. Most of the time I can get through a full shoe with 20 units. Okay, whether they're 20 green units or 20 red units, that's my shoe series. Okay, now here we go. What's the goal? Goal again, win 125 bucks. Have every series win a quarter or thereabouts. Okay, here I've got 2 stacks of 50 bucks. My goal really with these things, by the way, when I'm playing these games, is that can I turn those 2 stacks into a third stack? That's really what I want to do. Can I make these 2 win a third? That's what I'm looking to do, okay? And again, working the series as we do on the craps table lets us know where we are. And here is how it's going to work. Let's say we go out there with a 3-unit bet, okay? Let's say that we win 3 units. That's fantastic. What are we going to do? We're going to regress by 1 unit, put that back in our rack, and guess what? Our series is tight. That's our initial bet, plus 1 unit. Put it back here, plus 1 unit in profit. I can tell you right now, my series is paid for. I'm working on a profit stack behind it, and I'm playing with profit too. As long as I got 10 units in both stacks, I'm happy, right? Now we're going to go up and pull. We regressed, win a unit, win 2 units, up 1, pull 1. Win 3 units, up 1, pull 1. Let's say we get super lucky, win 4 units. Guess what? Up 1, pull 1. If I pull it all back, I've got my goal plus. Okay? Again, I'm always looking at that. I'm always looking at how close am I to making those stacks right. When I get to that point, just like at the craps table, it's decision time. What are we going to do here? Replenish our bankroll. Now I have starting bankroll back. I got this stack right here that I have won. It's actually 2 stacks of whatever that is, 2 stacks of 7. We're off and running. This series did its job. I could keep half and play half. I could make both stacks half again as high and try the whole thing again and try and use that extra big series to win even more. Lots of options here, but I know 1, 2, 3, 4, 500 bucks. Here's my extra money to play with. And again, I use the table to tell me where I am. I never have a question how much money I've got, how much money I'm playing with, and what profit level I'm at. And again, whether it's blackjack or baccarat or pie gower, Mississippi stud or whatever the hell game you're playing, a system like this works just fine. You can actually do this. You can, have them stacked and, a little bit of a 3 stack, and you can do what you want to and offset them and keep them tight so people can't see them all spread out, but keep them separate so that in your brain, you know what you got. That's an important piece of this thing, okay? There is a little bit of that on the blackjack table. Now, there's another thing that I think is as important to do besides playing your stacks, which is tracking your results. Let me try that again. Chicka. There's another thing I think that we should be doing, which is tracking our results. Now, in games like blackjack and baccarat and roulette to some extent, which can be super streaky, those games are hallmarked to me by betting on and playing hard in a streak or a variant. It's hard to know what's going on sometimes, okay? Let's pretend it's the baccarat table and you've got the sign. It says player, banker, whatever the order of things is, right? That's a nice historical look at what happened on the table, but it's not really what happened to you. And I think what's interesting is to know, and get these strips out of the way, what happened to you. Here's our play stack. Let's just assume this is where we are. Okay, here's our play stacks. Back to the bank we go. Just like in craps, I like to pull some extra money out, some reds and some whites, and have them sitting over here as kind of a side thing. And what I'll do, actually, I'll move these up, move them back rather. And again, there's more room on a real table to do this. I'm just trying to make it so you can see here. What I will do is track my wins and my losses with these whites and reds. In other words, let's say that we're on baccarat with a 1 unit bet and we win the bet. And we take the win and I'm playing a parlay press. I'm going to parlay that win. Okay? Let's say we get a second win. We take that money and we rack it. Okay? We rack the parlayed win in our profit stack. We know we've gotten 2 in a row. We also know that's our bet level. 2 in a row is our new bet level. Let's say that we win and we stack it up, okay? We're on level 3 now. When that win comes, 4 unit win, we're at level 3. Our bet is level 3. We take the money home, and now we're at level 4. We got 4 wins in a row. You track your wins with the white chips as you go. Now, that's great, so you know what bet level. This tells me what my next bet height is going to be. That's a good thing. It also tells me this: if I'm in a win, lose, win, lose, win, lose. If I'm in this chop, that's also telling me something. I'm probably getting my butt kicked in here. If I'm following the shoe, or if I'm betting banker all the time, I'm getting hammered right now. This is the time to say, oh, you know what? We're in a chop. I've lost 6 bets in a row. Let me go ahead and switch my strategy to more of a ladder. And let's wait ladder to get 2 wins in a row and jump out of the ladder. By tracking your outcomes, you might make different bet size decisions, right? Or betting pattern decisions based on this. Again, this is not reflective of player, banker. This is reflective of you betting the wrong side every single time, okay? Again, tracking what's happening to you here at these tables, I think is as important as it is to look at the sign and to take your notes. This is a good way, without paper and pen, old school, track your stuff. And again, the table has room for you to do this. Use the room. Use your stacks, use your area to your advantage. Again, play your bankroll, play your series, track your results as you go. It'll help you out in terms of knowing what the patterns are and what you're looking for to make maybe some betting changes. Let's switch over to craps and take a look at how you can use your rack to help you with prepping moves. Okay, here's one thing that I think is kind of cool that we can do. Let's say you're on a press and collect system. Simple, right? You got 160 across. You're going to go press, collect in rhythm on each number. Pretty standard way to press bets and craps. Well, on a long roll, you're going to forget where you are. You're going to forget which one you're collecting on, which one you're pressing on. You can use either your main rack if you want to, or you can use the one next to you if you have enough room to do it. Either way, these represent the 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, and 10. They match with the box, okay? I've got white meaning press, red meaning collect, right? A white and a red. And all you got to do is look at your chip rack and know what to do when the bets come. Let's say the 4 hits. It wins 50 bucks. Well, what does it say? White means press. Cool. Let's press it and flip it. The next time the 4 hits, 75 pays 150, which is awesome, right? We're on a red. That means collect and change it back. Let's say the 5 hits for 35 bucks. We're on a press. The next 5 would be a collect. Let's say the 9 hits this time for 35 bucks. $35 on the 9. It says press it. We press it. And now we know, no matter what's going, the 6, let's say the 8 hits here for $35. The 8 is on a press. Let's go ahead and press it up. Whoops. We'll go to the hard 8 with that. And now you can see, as the roll goes on, they're hitting the horn number and whatever else. Hey, the next 5 that comes, that's a collect, right? That's what we have on there, 70 bucks. That's a collect, right? That's $84 right there. We know that's collect to the rack, and then you flip it again. This helps you set up your next move. You could forget. Use your rack to remember. You might be on a press collect, right? 2 whites and a red. Press it, put it behind it. Press it, put it behind it. Now you're gonna collect. If you wanna go with that, and that's a hardcore aggressive rhythm, by the way, you wanna go press, collect. How are you gonna remember where you are without doing something like this in your rack? So use your rack to help you get ready for your next bet. Another thing that you can do to get ready for your next bet, besides tracking your pressing rhythm, okay, is to keep your next press ready in the rack, okay? As an example, let's say that our 9 was at 20 bucks. I'm gonna take all the other bets down to make this simple for you. Let's say our next 9 is 20 bucks. Let's say we're gonna go with an aggressive press here. 20 is gonna pay $28. $28. 20 plus 28, the last time I checked was $48. Okay, I wanna go to 50 with it. That's gonna require that I have $2 in my rack that I drop out here and say, drop $2, make my bet look like 50. If you're not ready for that, you could have a problem. So what you do is this. Remember how we had our rack set up before with each number representing each spot, the 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. I would put the $2 right there in the 9 hole. Put $2 in the 9 hole, have it ready so that you know that if the 9 hits, out comes the $2 and say, make it look like 50. The dealer just makes that happen for you, okay? Have your next bet, or your next, if you have a power press, ready in the rack, in the spot where it goes. So when the 9 hits, you drop the money, you know what to say, okay? When the 50 comes back, here's what's gonna happen for me. If the 50 hits, right, I know that that 50 is gonna pay 70 bucks. Okay, I know that's gonna happen. I want it to go to 40, right? I want this bet to look like $40 next time. It went from 20 to 40. I say, make it look like 40. They're gonna do this and give me back the 80 bucks. That's how that works out, but you're ready for it. The next time, 40 is gonna pay 56. You have to drop $4. I would leave the 5 right there. Drop the 5, get your penny change and say, make it look like 100. Again, have your bet ready in the rack. If you have the power press, have that power press ready to go. Use your rack not only as a source of information, when am I pressing or collecting, use it as a source of payment, get your next bet ready, prep your next move. And again, if you're playing blackjack or Bach, the white-red that I had out there that was letting us know kind of what sequence we were in tells me my next bet level. When I see a loss, I know my next bet level is base. When I see 2 wins in a row, my next bet level is 3. That way I know what I'm doing. So again, using the rack and the state of the table to help guide your next move, I think is kind of a power play for most of us. All right, recapping some of that, okay? Using your rack to manage your series. You separate your current series from your backup series or your full bankroll. You can do that, again, on the table spread out in baccarat, but blackjack, whatever, do it in your rack, front and back side, in craps. With your series wins, you can see what your series is doing. You can rack half and play half. You can recover your bankroll. On a series loss, you can make a decision. Do I want to go back out with the same series at half the bet size, put the series back into arrears, and start replaying with the next series? Your rack will tell you how many series you're down and the state of the current series. Use that information as you're playing. again, as part of that play style, it's about lock and profit. And it's about doing your job, right? Your number one job, like I said, the minute I put that series in play, I look at it like I'm down that much money. I'm down one full series. My first job, reload that bank. That series better make enough money to put itself back in the bank. That series better make enough money, job number 2, to pay for itself to be out there. And then job number 3, that series starts locking up the wins, okay? Given a full rack, whenever I see the back part of my craps rack, I got the full master bankroll back in there again, or if I have my five series locked in the back of my blackjack play, I know I'm good. I know I'm good. The table, the rack gave me the information. I know I'm solid. Whatever's in my series hole or my profit hole and or on the table, all that is profit once I see that my bankroll is stable. But if you don't keep track of your bankroll, if you make your rack look like a train wreck, you're never gonna know where you are. And if you don't know where you are, you're gonna bleed it away, right? The casino depends on you to bleed it away, right? If you don't know what you have, you're more willing to say, well, looks like I'm up a little bit. Let me go out and play one more aggressive time, one more shooter. Let's go aggressive here, right? But guess what? That's when you go into the tank. That's what they're counting on. They aren't counting on you counting what you have. They aren't counting on you having a solid goal and using your rack as a means to stick to the goal, as a reason to stick to the goal, as the information that you need to know when you're at goal, whether it be your win goal or your loss limit. That information helps you decide whether to engage the flight or fight reflex. Are you going to stay and fight more? Do you have enough excess profit to keep on going and try and hit for that home run? Or is it time to run? You got enough money out of this thing. You worked hard for it. Get out while the getting's good. Or have you hit your loss limit? It's time to run. Hit your loss limit. It's not the time to fight harder. Hitting your loss limit, it's time to stop playing. And if your rack is a train wreck, you don't know when you're at your loss limit. You might, I'm not there yet. I can afford one more. Guess what? Affording one more brings you 10% past your loss limit, and that bleeds you dry, and that feeds the bank. We don't want to feed the bank. They live like vampires on your bleed out. Let's not let that happen, okay? So again, use your rack to help manage your goal. Use your rack to give you information. Use your rack to help you feed the table the right amounts of money. Use your rack and your stack to lock the profits up, and you're going to be just fine. Okay. Again, what I want you to do is not so much, give you the secret to gambling here, right? It's a secret to not losing more than you should. It's a secret to not giving it up like everybody else does. Don't be like everybody else. Let this be your differentiator. That's a big thing for me. Be the outlier at the table. Be the one person out there that's making good decisions, right? Don't feed the beast, all right? There it is, guys. That is session 7. That is managing your rack, your rail, and your money at the table in real time. I hope that helps. I hope you can use that to help you, again, bleed out a little bit less and walk away a winner a little bit more often. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. Please feel free to leave us a comment here in the comment section for the video, but really better still, join us on Discord. Go to casinogaming.tv and hit the community link in the menu there and join our Discord. That's where me, other YouTubers, and all of our subscribers hang out. We sit there and talk strategy and just BS kind of all day long. It's a great way to get connected and stay connected and kind of interact with the team, learn about meetups and get-togethers and all that kind of stuff. So with all that said, again, thanks for watching. I really appreciate your time. God bless you, and I will see you in the next one.